I'm the Director of Research and Programs here at TAUNY, and along with Ruth McWilliams, the co-curator of this exhibit, St. Lawrence County Barn Quilts. Thanks for joining us today on another of our quick video visits highlighting elements of the exhibit. Today we're going to talk about how barn quilts help share family stories. I'll point out a couple of quick examples and then we have a special guest. So first I'd like to look at a couple examples here. The first is by Andy Edwards from Colton, New York. And this is an example of a barn quilt that he made as a gift for his grandparents that was not only a loving gift between family members, but also used imagery to tell stories about their family, including things like their Canadian heritage, the local pines and rivers they love, the hockey sticks with scarlet and brown lines for his grandfather's days playing hockey at St. Lawrence University, and sharing their family experience in general. There's also an example here, the Fallen Apples Everyday Barn Quilt, that Carol Rose of Herman, New York made for Beth Robinson and family of Potsdam, New York. When they bought their land to build their business Swing Time Mini Golf, they discovered a lot of old apple trees on the property and they were so excited to find them. They started an annual family gathering to celebrate those apples and press cider and gather all together. And this barn quilt helps tell the story of that and celebrate that new tradition in their family. So I'm going to turn things over now to a very, very special guest we have here today. Here's Pam Winchester, a prolific, inspired barn quilt maker and a leader in the Hammond barn quilt movement. Pam, could you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how you got into barn quilting?
You bet. Thank you, Camilla, and thank you, Tawny, for showcasing our wonderful work here. I'm Pam Winchester. I'm a retired art teacher from Ogdensburg, and I got introduced to barn quilt making by two wonderful women in Hammond, Lisa Sarfati and Nancy Nasenko, and I met them at the farmer's market. They were just excited about barn quilt trails and they wanted to start one in Hammond. And they heard that I was a painter and a teacher, and they said, let's see what she could dream up. And we dreamed up we met together and had all these great ideas and created the Hammond Barn Quilt Trail. It was fabulous. It was a great community project.
And now, if you'd like to share a little bit about this barn quilt, the Family Reunion Barn Quilt, and how it shares your own family story.
Yes, of course. This is Family Reunion, which was influenced by several things going on in my life at this time. You'll notice it's not exactly a traditional barn quilt block pattern, but it's inspired. You know, when you're an artist, you're inspired by things that are going on in your life. So at this time, Ancestry.com was really big. Hammond was. We were creating a Scottish festival. I was having a family reunion at my house, and there was a garden tour at my gardens. So the colors sort of pick up some of the colors in the gardens, but it's a lot of symbolism in here. And I was influenced also by an artist who had a piece on Google that looked like a floating iceberg. So you can sort of see these shades of blue that kind of look like water and sky. And so this is my family. My husband's side is on the bottom, represented in the water because his Scottish ancestry comes from Argyll, Scotland, along the coast. And my family is represented on the top by these colors and the lightness, because we were from around the Perth area on the land. And there's also sort of a color symbolism of tartans going in, and how the colors, when they're side by side, they create another color. And that was inspired by the fabric weaving of tartan and the different pieces of wool overlaying each other and creating another color, even though they didn't get mixed. They were just laying side by side. And I think that's kind of like our roots, and our heritage is just a combination of all these different people and coming together side by side and creating a new color together. It's kind of interesting. So this is like the foundation. These two are the beginning ancestors, and then these are the children. And as you go out, the children's children and the children and the children, and it's following symmetry like most traditional barn quilts have symmetry. But I call this radial symmetry because it comes from the inside and projects out. And all the energy and the intensity of these wonderful ancestors is creating new, unique individuals as it comes out to the edges of the barn quilt.
Wonderful. I love so much how this really shows the sort of meeting of the roots and rootedness of the family, and how how it brings that energy into the future and forward, which is something we think about a lot here at TAUNY with the traditions we work with. So thank you so much, Pam, for joining us today, and thank you all for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next one.